Working with data warehouses and analytics can be tedious, but Kestra helps you automate that process. We've got this example project here, which is an e-commerce store with a bunch of data, and we're going to use this to turn the data into more useful customer and orders data ready for us to do some analytics. Inside of the workflow, if we press edit now, we can see it's going to clone that repository automatically from us, getting the most up-to-date models for us to use in dbt. This next task is using the dbt task, and what that's going to do is inside of a Docker container here, it's going to build dbt models and then test them using DuckDB. Afterwards, we're going to then use Python to be able to connect to DuckDB, take all of that data and then turn it into some CSV files so that we can then use that data for analytics. So now when I execute this workflow, we'll see that it's going to start the process of cloning that repository, and then dbt is going to get started with processing all those models. And we'll see that once it's finished building, it creates loads of different models ready for our Python script. And then we can see at the end here that the Python script is able to then process and create those CSV files for analytics. So we can see here loads of different data, but if I go down to the Python one at the bottom, we can see under output files here, we've got orders.csv as well as customers.csv. So we can have a look here and see we've got a bunch of data here in a relatively straightforward format. And then the same for customers.csv. So we can now use this to do some analytics on top of this, whereas the original raw format would have been way too messy for us to do anything with. So what Kestra's done here is help to automate this process, especially in conjunction by cloning the repository directly rather than having to manually do those steps for you. All of it is automated. This means when new data arrives in the future, you can just run your workflow and get data ready for analytics at the end. Hopefully you found this useful and you're going to start doing data warehousing and analytics with Kestra. I'd love to hear what you're doing in Kestra with data warehousing and analytics and what you'd like to see from us in the future to help you build more.